I like to think that those in my audience are smarter than the average YouTube viewer. I don't speak down to you, and I don't try to appeal to your emotions by playing the angry Satanist game. That's too easy. Appealing to emotion is demagoguery. That's how that mindless creature called a mob comes into being. And we've seen way too much of that monster in the last couple of years. Simply believing is easy. Understanding, truly understanding, that takes work. It's easy to substitute one belief for another, but if you truly know something, your intellectual foundation is much more sound. But some people think because of how I present this philosophy, I'm watering down, weakening what this path is all about. I think it's the opposite. One should dissect whatever the philosophy is they adhere to, because if it can withstand intense scrutinization, then you've found a path worth following. That's the problem with Christianity and the other Abrahamic faiths. They don't hold up very well under scrutiny. As they say, the easiest way to become an atheist is to read the Bible. To put it simply, I want to understand what's happening on this path, not only from the historical or mythological perspectives, but most importantly, from the psychological. Because, and I've said this before time and again, everything is psychological. But trying to understand the left-hand path psychologically can be confusing. For example, we in the sect use the term rational occultism, when in truth there is no such thing. Occultism is not rational, at least not from the traditional perspective. But if you understand the word occult based on its rudimentary meanings, such as not revealed, concealed, or not easily understood, then it does pertain to what we're doing. Being rational while delving into the Dionysian madness of the left-hand path is a contradiction in terms. This, then, is the most paradoxical aspect of the path. You got to be rational to understand the irrational. To put it simply, you have to have a sturdy foundation to take that leap from. What I'm getting at is that you have to have a sound mind. It's like taking psychedelics. I wouldn't recommend them to anyone with an unsound mind. This is because facing the horrors can be a bitch if you're not prepared. One way of preparing yourself to face the horrors of this path is through understanding symbolism. Because symbols speak the language of the psyche, one the rational mind does not always understand. And therein lies that paradox once again. Take a look at this image. We've all seen it before. It's Baphomet or Baphomet. And we get the general meaning of this symbol, as above, so below, light, dark, male, female, animal, human, and so on. But there's something even deeper going on here. What Jung's talking about are the psychoid structures that transcend the distinction between psyche or spirit and matter. Baphomet can be understood as a psychoid structure, and the union of opposites in this representation is obvious, because Baphomet is the visual manifestation of all opposites and equalities in the universe, while symbolizing the mastery of the realms of both spirit and the material. You can say it represents that reality contains both psyche and matter, and that these domains are not completely isolated but interact. When we gaze upon the image of Baphomet, this irrational creature, this representation of the union of opposites, we are integrating our understanding of psyche and matter at the depths of reality. In conclusion, I gave the example of Baphomet as a psychological representation because it's familiar to those on the path. But it's just one of many examples I could have used to aid in achieving a symbolic yet solid understanding of the occult. For the ice is thin under those whose comprehension is based upon faith.